This is Digivation Network. Experience the revolution.
Africa is a cradle of civilization and invention. Why then are we labeled the dark and the backward continent? It is the 6th edition of the Digital Africa Conference and Exhibition. It's an event that has brought together industry stakeholders, ICT bigwigs and academias to discuss the opportunities and strategies for the Africa's rebirth. Stay tuned as we give you details of the event. I am Ugochi Emmanuel.
In Africa, some of us are behaving as if we are really what people like Joseph Conrad said of Africans. Joseph Conrad, you know, the author of The Heart, of the Heart of Africa. He said that the Heart of Darkness. He said that people that are based in Africa, the natives of Africa, are really more suitable for hewing of woods and fetching of water to the other continents of the world. Now, that of course is not who we are. By far, it's not who we are. If you look at what Africans have achieved in the past, to go back to the likes of what happened in Egypt, the obelisks that were built there, the pyramids that were built there, the advances in mathematics, the advances in medicine, the advances in navigation, the advances in agriculture, not only in Egypt, the advances in astronomy, practically all over Africa. If you look at all that, you know that we are not just good for hewing, of woods. If you also look at what Africans are achieving, today in the other parts, of the world, take the US, African Americans, they are also Africans. If you look at much of what they have achieved there in terms of inventions, believe you me, inventions of a lot of things you and I use today as modern technology that were done by African Americans can fill up a whole book. And if you also look at what people like Philip Emeagwali, Nigerian, but there in the diaspora, he's there. It's like swimming in a much bigger ocean. When we go there, we are like in a much bigger ocean. We unleash our creativity, we unleash our talents. So it's here with us. We can.
Africa is the bedrock of civilization. We are as original as we come by. Wherever you go, our language, our culture, our dressing, our cuisine. You come to, let me come back to Nigeria. You get to Lagos, you hear Ekabo, welcome, or Ekaro, good morning. You come to the southeast, and you hear no, it's not telling you welcome. And you still come over to the north, and you hear Sanu. And then we go over to Ghana, and we hear Akwa. The consonants just coming together, and it makes us uniquely African.
Permit me therefore to advocate here that governments in Africa must approach the continent's technological rebirth with strong commitments. African countries should consider establishing special agencies that will steer Africa's gradual technological rebirth. Such agencies should be charged with the financing of innovations, e-commerce, strategic management of intellectual capital and property, promotion of technological development through partnerships, and the use of such networks as knowledge bases, virtual corporations, and virtual centers of excellence. Africa is no doubt showing promises of a continent ready to leverage on technology tools and applications to fast-track socio-economic development. Evidences abound. It's been projected by the ESMA that by year 2020, Africa will have more than 700 million smartphone connections, more than twice the projected number in North America, and not far from the total in Europe. Yet in Nigeria alone, it is estimated that 16 smartphones are sold every minute, while mobile data traffic across Africa is said to increase by 15-fold by the year 2020. Africa's accelerated connectivity is aided by infrastructure expansions in the form of upgrading and installation of submarine cables and backbone networks at major coastlines across the continent, aimed at boosting connectivity in all the nooks and crannies of Africa.
I know this century belongs to Africa. There's no doubt about that. You were mentioning about the African heritage. A few years ago, I was in Ethiopia, and there's a place called Lalibela. And in Lalibela, there are 11 rock-hewn churches. They are carved out of one single rock. And all of them are UN heritage sites. And 5 years ago, the population of the place was 30,000. And these churches were built 1100 years ago. So who built them? That is a superhuman effort, which means, Africa has great potential, and I have no doubt that that this century belongs to Africa, and with the Honorable Minister, who is very passionate about this subject, I am sure Africa and Nigeria is in very safe hands, and I wish you all the best.
If social media, ICT played a significant role, I want to let you know that it can still play a significant role in Africa, in the development of Africa. And so to that end, I want to quickly make us understand, when it comes to African tech renaissance, one of the things that I found out was the fact that the word renaissance in itself actually captures the transitional period in classical European time, particularly in their historical moments between the 14th and 17th century, during which they had a major growth by virtue of the fact that there was a surge, a renewed interest in things like sciences, technology, arts, and literature. That moved Europe to a whole new dimension. Therefore, when it comes to this word renaissance that we have up there, so that doesn't sound like another big word. It's just another word for rebirth, meaning something was there before, something went wrong, can we bring it back again? Another word for it might be revive. Another word for it might just be to reawaken. All of this presupposes that Africa has the DNA in itself that can make Africa grow again. Let me put it this way. I happened to grow up in the States. I was born in Kaduna. I schooled in a place called Bauchi, even though my parents were from the West. And I did a little bit of farming. And one of the things that I noted was that close to my farm, I remember back in the 80s, there was this tree that was obstructing the path towards where we normally farm. And so one day I came back and I found out that the tree had been cut from the trunk. And we were quite excited that this obstruction is forever gone. A few months later, I noticed that some plants began to bud shortly after the springs began. And I said, what's going on here? Oh, and then it came to my mind that you can cut off the trunk, but if you don't take out the root, the tree will grow again. And that brings to this understanding that the root of technological development, creativity, and innovation is deep on the inside of us. We didn't need to go to any university, no MIT, no Harvard, no Oxford. We didn't need to go to any of that. It was in us. If you go to the Benins, you go to Edo State, in the early days, You get to find that craft, designs, all of that was in us. How did we make the things that we make? How did we arrange the pyramids, the granites in Kano? How did we arrange them in such a way that they form the shape that they shape if there's no mathematical thinking? You see, the point is that we have looked down too much on ourselves, and obviously because somebody has told us, like she said, apes obey, I think it's time for us to tell ourselves we are not apes anymore. It's time for us to tell ourselves that we were the ones that mined in Plateau. We were the ones that had cocoa in the western part of Nigeria. We did all kinds of things to preserve them. Where are the Nigerians who did that? Our fathers may be gone, but their genes are still in us. And what that portends is that if the tree can have rain, even though it's been cut off, it will grow again. If we can have an enabling environment, the genes of our fathers that made us to build the things that we built in the years gone by, the genes are still in us. That's why if you take us out of here and you take us to somewhere like America, we blossom again.
I do not need to prove to you that civilization started from Africa. I do not need to prove to you anymore that the Homos, from the habilis to Homo sapiens, the habilis that started 25 million years before Christ, up to 80,000 years that the Homo sapiens invented fire, all arose from Africa. From Northern Africa to Southern Africa, from Eastern Africa to West Africa, civilization started from Africa. Technology started from Africa. And you still have it, you can still see them. From the pyramids in Egypt, to the caves in South Africa, to Ethiopia, Kenya, to Nigeria. We do not need to prove anything that civilization started from us. And until recently, until 1475, that the Europeans, the Portuguese came to Africa, we had smart cities. We had technologies of transportation that are way beyond what you have in Wakanda. My people used to travel hundreds of miles using technologies called Igbe, called Canopy. We are able to go anywhere in the world within seconds using technologies that the white man did not understand. When the white man does not understand technology, what do you call it?
Okay.
Magic. But that same technology of transportation, called Igbe, called Canopy, is coming back today. Amusing, but the truth. We lost a particular word that I'm going to come back to. We lost the words of civilization. Unfortunately, when the white man came, they didn't understand our technologies. And the first thing you do to the people that you conquer is you first take their language. You take their tradition. You take their culture. And with that, you take in their being.
And I say, so it comes to our mindset, the can-do attitude. But it goes also beyond that. And how do we formulate policies? How do we in decision-making processes, especially the government people, how do we create an enabling environment for the practitioners? Many of us truly are practitioners, but our mindset needs to change.
High point of the event is the exhibition stand, where technology innovations are displayed.
Yes, the product is about solar. Basically what we do, the name of our company is National Solar Power Authority. We are Nigeria's first national solar company. And what we do is we go by a business model, or PPP, public-private partnership with different stakeholders, important stakeholders, including governments. So what we do is we're using the pay-as-you-go model to service the rural areas. But we take care of three demographics: the rural areas, urban areas, and we also cater to SMEs and small scale and large businesses also, and also government buildings, government institutions, and also real estate buildings.
Litafi, it's an indigenous solution that is actually built on the blockchain technology. It's a digital content management protocol. With Litafi, first we're promoting the blockchain technology because it's the technology in rave right now. You have developed countries applying it and utilizing this technology. Most developed countries are moving from the regular internet applications to the blockchain applications. So here today in Nigeria or in Africa, we have built an indigenous solution on this technology that is the rave in the world today.
It has given me an opportunity rather to meet people from different walks of life who are interested in healthy living, because right now it's an era of fit farm, so everybody wants to know how they can live healthy and live better. So coming here, I've been able to introduce my products to a lot of people who are interested, and they've bought from me. They've collected our numbers. We've networked to a lot of people, and we've collected their contacts. So it's an opportunity for me, which I really appreciate.
This is Digivation Network. Experience the revolution.